I bought 50 Bitcoin in 2011. Could have bought more but was scared. Lost most of them with Mt. Gox getting hacked. Expect to get about 18% back after the bankruptcy. Proceeding civil rehabilitation pays everyone back. I bought 3,000 GME at $4, sold at $40, and watched it run up to $483 days later. Thank God I didn't hold on though. Rugged of almost my entire net worth on FTX at the exact bottom of the crypto market. Missed out on the entire bull run? End of story? I told my dad to invest in AMD in 2015. If he actually did it, he could have been a millionaire. I was too young and didn't have any money. I played the lotto last night but I got the numbers wrong. So screwed up. Similar story for me but with Bitcoin in the mid-2010s before it ever appeared on mainstream news. Parents were too skeptical to help me buy it. I was a little kid, and as soon as I heard about it I couldn't shut the heck up about it. A few years down the line I also sold some crypto that would have been worth almost 100K today. I'm trying to use it as motivation to work harder so I can have money to take advantage of more opportunities. Almost bought $2,000 worth of Luna Terra at the absolute flash crash bottom but decided to wait a day. Spent all my Bitcoin when it was around $100 a coin. I could have picked up a part-time job at Walmart for the same amount of money, held the Bitcoin and be a multi-millionaire now. Also a woman was involved which was really the main issue. I was offered 1,000 Bitcoin for $100. I read up on G that it was a scam and that you can't cash out so I said no. Yeah? Oh you dumbass, you could trade Second Life money for it back then. You should have just asked for Linden gift cards. There was also local Bitcoins. You could just meet someone at a coffee shop and give them cash for Bitcoin, before everyone realized that was money transmitting and got sketched out about it. I'm a millionaire but in 2012 my wife and I cashed out about $120K to buy some cars, and it really slowed us the heck down. Had a computer friend that ran his own repair shop at home. Tell me about Bitcoin in 2013. Went in hard during the peak of 2017. Went to jail in 2018. Got out? Crypto is boring. 3 months later? Okay, crypto is exciting. Lockdown happens. Uh-oh, crypto is boring again. Completely missed Black Swan bull run. Half of Americans getting 1K unemployment gives minutes. Now I swing TradeJeet coins on Solana. My biggest regret is stacking BNB tokens for the fee waiver back when it was $12 and selling after jail. My Link holdings were worth $1.4 million at the top of the last cycle. Held like an idiot. Sold a bunch at the bottom so now my holdings are less than 1/10 of what they were. I'm hoping the poop coin bag I'm holding will help me get back some of my original stack. Would have made $240,000 on HPO's 10 but sold the first week. I could have swapped my Link for 400 ETH. Or 25 Bitcoin. Didn't. Basically one trade away from $1 million. I had a 10 million bag of Hex I bought on a shill thread with zero clue what it was. It traded sideways and down for months and I swapped it for Core. Went down 99%, and my 10 million Hex could have gotten me several million. I came up with a concept for a toy line hauntingly, similar to Funko Pops several years before they became big, but I never patented the idea, because I thought they were lame as balls and that no one would ever buy them. Prior to Tesla Ultra run-up, I had 2,000 shares in my brokerage and was convinced by Porter Stansberry's stock newsletter that it was going to zero and sold it. Split adjusted current price is something like $2.5 million. Knew about Bitcoin in 2010, ignored mostly. Mined Doge exclusively in 2013, had millions, maybe billions I can't remember exactly. Sold all for Bitcoin which I sold for cash to pay for dumb crap. Watched Richard Hart streams when he was releasing Hex with free airdrop for Bitcoin holders. I had 13 Bitcoin at that time. Ignored it. Sold before airdrop? I've really screwed up a lot, brothers. Considering taking out $20,000 of student loans and buying Link at 30 cents. Did not because debt is bad. My parents didn't want to give me some money to invest on Bitcoin when I was 13 in 2013. I still heckin' hate them. Bought $100 worth of Dogecoin in late 2017. Stored them on some Chrome extension wallet that only held Dogecoin. That hard drive crashed, and I can't even remember the name of the wallet. I actually have the login info. Pretty sure they'd be worth over 100K at least today. Probably more? Poop coin in 2020 that I slurped $500 of instead of $50 without noticing 5 minutes into release. Go away for the weekend with the boys and get baked. Come back and 300,000% up. Holdings worth about $1.55 million with huge liquidity pool. I'm the single largest holder. Maybe one more day and I'll start selling. Start planning future and holiday plans. Didn't want to sell any as to not scare off other whales. Overnight while I slept. Dev pulls the plug with an infinite mint. Tell girlfriend who is into crypto as well the next day later, after metaphorically beating myself up all day. She doesn't break up with me but definitely shocked. I may have lost over $1 million, but that's how I found love. I bought half a Z of MD powder on 2010 on Silk Road. I cashed out the little bit of change from that transaction around 10 years later, and used it as a down payment on a second buy-to-let house. I'm a millionaire in the strictest sense as my assets add up to that, but screw me, I think Bitcoin was less than £1 at the time. Sold GME a month before the run-up. Sold Doge a month before the run-up. Bought Luna at the absolute bottom. Only bought $70 worth. 2017? I had low living expenses and was rolling in cash. Instead of go balls deep into crypto at the start of the bull market. I was paying $4,000 towards my student loans. I could have been a millionaire by early 2018. I kinda learned my lesson, and I'm a millionaire now though. First time I heard about Bitcoin, it was 2018. Didn't even have any speculative value really. I wanted to buy $8,000 worth. Couldn't find a way to do it. And no, I wouldn't have sold all. Some for sure, but not all. Not me, but my neighbor. He was living in Baltimore years back and one of his buddies asked him if he could invest in his sports clothing company. Guy was asking for a $20,000 investment for something like 1% of the company. Neighbor doesn't think it's going to pan out and doesn't invest. The company that he didn't invest in was Under Armour. His 1% would have been worth around $250 million at UA's peak market cap. You never know. I have probably 10. Not gonna bother? Be me, 23. Hear about Bitcoin at 96 cents. Have 22K in the bank. Call it a scam and walk away. Traded 75K Linkies at 25 cents for another poop coin. Kill me, Anon. Had more than 7 million Dogecoin and dozens of Bitcoin on Cryptosea before they went under. I could have been a contender. I owned 50 million Phantom. Peak of last bull if I held it would have been $150 million $. I presently have a net worth of 2 million. My hope is in Tectum and Kenis this cycle. Gonna heckin' hold if it kills me this time. The most Bitcoin I've controlled in a wallet is 7. It was just something my dad was asking me to do for him though. Some investor platform that rugged him and took all the Bitcoin. Been in crypto since 2017, it's happened countless times now. Already this cycle I've sold 3 coins for a 2x that could have been a 10x, missing out on a total of 1.2 million in potential profits. Nothing stings harder than selling 500k plus of Link for 60 cents back in 2017 though. Biz was painful for years, even with a tiny cope stack I bought later. I knew about Bitcoin when it was just the white paper because Anons were discussing it on G. I never bought any because it was too difficult and risky at the time. I should have mined some since I had a pretty good CPU. This was before GPU and ASIC mining. I had around 300 Litecoin which I mined because it was too late to get into Bitcoin in like 2014 on a hard drive, which died so I threw it away. Not life-changing money but still nice to have. Staking memes locked for 6 months. Started mining Bitcoin in 2015 but it was such a small amount back then I just forgot about it and wiped my hard drive. I got on computer to buy McAfee's Ghost Coin or whatever, but I had a Windows update so I just thought screw it and went to sleep. It mooned thousands of % from that point. I had 50k Link bought from Ether Delta but fumbled the bag and sold way too early. Closed 10x Doge long last week at 0.15. I discovered Bitcoin in March of 2009. By 2011 I was operating one of the first Bitcoin casinos. I squandered $800 million give or take. I was in it for the technical challenge I suppose. I was a click away from buying 100 Bitcoin end of 2012 with my first wagey paycheck. I talked myself out of it because I wanted to buy regarded stuff. I also believed the US would ban it. Once I realized it was an asset of the US Gov, I bought 3 years later. My weird schizo friend in high school shilled it hardcore. I was his only friend. He said he had thousands. He killed himself. I wonder if his family even knew. I went to university in 2008 through 2011, doing computer science. Knew about Bitcoin from start. Traded some stuff online for 100 Bitcoin, because it was like $1 then. Sold them for a few thousand, because I was a student and needed to pay rent/food. Forgot about it until it started blowing up again in 2018-18. Oh well. Not even mad about it, Desu. No one knows the future. I could buy Shiba March 2021 before it pumped. I didn't because I already held Hoj and other meme coins. Top holder of Pepe coin early last year. Sold it for around 30 cents to swap into something else late last year. Current prices would have made me a millionaire right now. I was on B in late 2009/early 2010 when people were mining them and giving them to each other for free or for Sharpie in the pooper pics. I never bothered because it sounded heckin' pointless and lame, until I bought my first Bitcoin in early 2017 for $2,000. Didn't put a bet on Trump winning in 2016 when the odds were hugely in favor of a Clinton win. I owned 10 Bitcoin in 2014 but sold it months later for a hearty $300 gain. Mined Dogecoin in 2013 and early 2014. It was just for fun. Totally worthless. A meme. Forget about Dogecoin. Performed system restore on my PC in 2016. Continue to forget about Dogecoin. My face when Dogecoin hit 73 cents in 2021, and I lost my keys/seed in the system restore in 2016. Be me. Top 0.1% in any academic test. Have farm trash parents? TLDR, it was over before it ever began. I was 19-year-old in 2012, and I inherited a house that was worth 500,000 euros. I sold it, and spent the money in 5 to 6 years on prostitutes/traveling/consuming. I hadn't even heard of crypto or had any knowledge about investing. Yeah, I'm a regard. Aventus? One guy posted one thread 4 days before its 6 crossed in 12 hours. It died in fewer than 5 posts. Biz had 100 threads about various poop coins with dog themes that day, all populated by baggies talking about how their poop coin was the next SHIB. People on Biz one? To stay poor, because otherwise they'd invest in actual projects that pop, instead of regarded poop coins that do nothing and then cry when the dev sells his 65% share of the tokens. Learned about Bitcoin back in 2010. Was planning to throw a $100 in but didn't because I don't do drugs. Not a whole millionaire, but still would be nice to have, what? A whole coin? I'd probably get scammed several times over though. I sold my COS last year for Link. It's the most painful mistake. I'm definitely dumping all my Link for Supra once they TGE. Knew about the buildup of troops in Russia way before the mainstream media caught on. Europe would freak out more. Research German MIC stocks. Rheinmetall looks promising. Set up brokerage account. It isn't listed in the US. Screw me. JPG? Invasion happens? Rheinmetall jumps 60%. Bought Bitcoin in 2012, 2013 to buy redacted on the internet. Never spent the whole amount. Left like $100 worth on the exchange. 10 years later I find my username/password info written on an old notebook. Sorry, your account doesn't exist.